ahead
Yes,
and
ma'am.
get
Let's go
going.
on.
Okay, Christy, I was able to manage my adult tasks. So Melinda, why don't you tee us off?
All right. Thank you to those of us who are joining us live. We appreciate it. It's Melinda DePerna in San Diego and Cathi Coridan in outside of Dallas, Texas. I'm never quite sure where to say the exact spot in Texas, but Cathi in Texas.
You could just say North Texas. It's all of us.
There we go. There we go. And we are here today to talk about the use of social media when targeting serving seniors. And it, like everything in social media, it evolves as rapidly as you can imagine. So we're always updating and looking at this. I do not position myself as an expert, but I do have some experience, and we both have ideas and what we see a lot of people doing. So we're going to take a format of 20 minutes of us bringing some of the knowledge that we have, and about 40 minutes of that, each of us. And then we're going to mastermind as a group as well. We're going to do breakout sessions with some questions we've prepared for you. The first subject really is, well, first off, the last Cathi wanted me to mention that I've been really working on this the last few months. I've had trouble with the niching down, not trouble with my niche. I'm very clear on what my niches are, but being afraid to just send that one message, that I would start to lose people who are not in the senior segment, because it's not my only segment. My military segment and my luxury segments are very much almost equal status, and in some cases they overlap. But I was afraid that if I start just talking to seniors and their children and the people interested in that, the others would stop paying attention. And I can tell you that's not been the case. I worked really, really hard. Cathi will touch on this a lot about what I wanted to say and who I wanted to say it to. So my social media will look different than your social media, although there will be overlaps. And one of the biggest things is to resist the trending temptations, and make sure you stay clear to your messaging and your perfect avatar. But if you were to follow me on social media, and I would love if you do, it's Melinda K. DePerna on Instagram and Melinda Cruzy DePerna on Facebook. You will see a consistent message to seniors and more to seniors that is true to my brand, true to my personality, and true to them and what they need. So I've taught classes on social media in general before. And the first thing I think is important that people forget, they're like, I've got to be on Facebook. I've got to be on Instagram. I've got to be on TikTok. I've got to do YouTube. I heard LinkedIn is the way to go. Well, first you have to get down, and Cathi will talk more about this, into marketing 101. And that is, where is your target audience? And I have a few things here about where it is. Facebook. Well, for one thing, my target audience, one of my target audiences is you. So you already know, those of you that are in the room, that I do a big agent-to-agent referral business. San Diego is a transient place. So part of my community is on Facebook. You guys are on Facebook actually more than Instagram. We're talking more about real estate on Facebook than we might be on Instagram. So, but in Facebook, there's more seniors and more community visibility. So if you're in, give me a community, Sue, that you serve in.
Called McKinney.
Okay, so you're in McKinney, Texas, right? And are there McKinney Facebook groups for specific communities?
Do I, or are there?
Just in general.
There's only one that I know of.
Well, that's good. Only one is good. I was just on my Point Loma one, and somebody's looking for a great scalp, like hair wash. And I found out things about now scalp spas I didn't know, for $250 to get my scalp conditioned and everything. But the places where people go, hey, I'm looking for a housekeeper. Hey, I'm looking for a painter. Oh, did you know that the book mobile is going to be there? So Facebook is the place where we see smaller community activity, and we see more of the over 55 demographic. We know those to be facts still. So if we're serving the senior population, I would think for most of us, Facebook would be a platform that we would want to be active on. Instagram is a younger demographic than Facebook, but it by is no stretch of the imagination where teenagers are today. Okay, they may be some of them on it, but if you look at the demographics, you're going to see the 35 to 55 demographic is very, very predominant there on Instagram. And just because we're serving seniors, I'll look at my friend Gretchen Kingma, she understands and has targeted, she's serving actually her demographic, the children of the seniors that are the sandwich generation. So she's making a good living out of serving that. And then there's LinkedIn. Well, I know I'm working on, I mentioned the luxury side of things, and Danny Hara is working on the high net worth seniors. Well, you know that they're on LinkedIn because they had or have professions still. And most of our clients, I think that is a definitely underutilized tool, but it's an especially effective tool for getting to our fiduciaries, our attorneys, and our professionals. Okay, so that's another segment we don't often think of truly as social media, but it is. And LinkedIn still shows up very early on people's profiles. And then there's YouTube. And YouTube is really known for its evergreen content. You put it out there thoughtfully, and it works for you for years, but it doesn't work quickly. It's not about becoming Mr. Beast, who I didn't know who he was before 6 months ago, but who all your grandkids will know who Mr. Beast is. But YouTube is searchable, it's owned by Google, and it has long-term value. So I think what's important to know is that you're aware of all the media. Notice I didn't put TikTok or Truth Social or any of those. Those are all valid social media avenues. I just don't think that as far as marketing our services to seniors, they're high impact right now. That doesn't mean that doesn't change in 2 months, and you should be aware of them, and you can also use them. I know a lot of people who use TikTok to create their videos, and then they use those videos elsewhere, or at least to create their content. I like to use Instagram for putting together reels, short form video, which they call reels, because it's got a really easy editor. I don't have to use CapCut and a lot of other things to get what I want. So make sure you're aware of these and that you're targeting where you want to be purposefully, and then don't spread yourself too thin. There was a time where I would have told you don't even post the same content on all the platforms. Search engines, that's changed a little bit. You don't get penalized now for duplicate content the way you used to. The algorithm has changed, but don't spread yourself too thin. Don't feel like you can make this a full-time job. There are people that these are their full-time jobs, and when we get really good at this, it often makes sense, or when we're growing, to hire those people to do this for us. But right now, choose 1 or 2 platforms to focus on. Okay. Cathi, do you want to hop in here and talk about messaging, about the purpose of marketing?
Right. And this for me is a place where I'm moving in my work hits with the seniors, and the importance of it. I think sometimes we need to be a member of all these, and we believe in this because we are a mastermind platform, but we need to be with our people and learning about seniors and learning about what they need. And yes, we do. We need to be really understanding what is different in the senior housing piece of it, and why serving seniors is a really different kind of real estate. The same way investor real estate is different, the same way commercial real estate is different. Yes, we need to know all those pieces. And we have to be able to tell people who we are and how we serve the seniors, or the seniors will not listen to us because they will not hear us. The families will not listen to us because they will not hear us. Creating the messaging is really critical, and having a messaging strategy that is coherence across all the platforms and across all the marketing pieces, so that what's in your brochures and on your rack cards and on your business card is the same and reflects and echoes what's on your social media messaging, what's on your website, what's on the different chains of conversations that you're having in some of the platforms. Because otherwise, people are going to get confused. And so I think that knowing that social media is a marketing platform and not marketing, and then what the goal of marketing is really important. The messaging strategy that you have is how your brand is reflected in all those different places, and that it's cohesive. It's like notes in a piece of music working together and not against each other. And I have seen recently, in just looking at different people's websites and kind of doing a little bit of investigation when I'm going to be working with them coaching, or I just want to see what somebody else is doing that's offering themselves as a senior focused real estate agent, is they just have a regular website that's given to them by their brokerage or that they've gotten for themselves, that oftentimes talks about first-time buyers or has those already made little blogs at the bottom that talks about stuff that has nothing to do with seniors.
Right.
And then you look at the social media, and it is important for people to get to know you. I'm going to follow up on that in a minute, so that your social messaging, because so many of us use our personal page as well as our business page, that we are representing ourselves as we want to be seen in the business community, and that our messaging says who we are. In doing messaging, you need to know the what, the how, and the why for your messaging. What is the goal of posting on social media? Let's look at just Facebook and Instagram for right now. The goal is to engage seniors and their caretakers. We'll leave the attorneys and the financial planners out of it for right now, but it's to engage them and have them know we're here, to create a level of curiosity to want to learn more about us, because they went at Christmas time to see mom and dad and like, they're not sure what's going on. And so that if you are posting about your senior interest and your senior focus, what are you saying that is going to have them be curious and want to learn more about you? That curiosity is the first piece of marketing. The second piece of marketing is enlightenment. So that when you do posting a YouTube video onto your personal page or your business page that talks about downsizing or talks about the ambivalence that seniors have, or any of the 25 topics that we could talk about, that helps get them enlightened. And you want to go back on social media between curiosity and enlightenment. And every once in a while, and more often than not, let me put it that way, you want to put a call to action. And that call to action could be to look at the video. The call to action could be to learn more about how you would approach serving seniors. You're not going to get very often somebody calling you to list their mother's house or calling you to list their house because you posted something on social media. What you're doing is really building a presence. And then
Where you say that the curiosity part, so you're, what I'm hearing you say is stop the scroll or hook,
right,
get their attention, tell them, give them content, and then ask them to do something. But I think what I just heard you say is, let's set what your expectations are going to be. That call to action, rarely is it just going to be a come list me.
mm-hmm.
It's usually going to be a call to action to get to know more about you and to engage with you so you can develop the relationship to come list me, like any marketing.
Correct. And so that another call to action could be, come to my, community workshop where have a couple of people talking about important topics for seniors, aging in place safely. come to a downsizing workshop. So the call to action is to get more engaged and to get more information, because they're coming from a place of being overwhelmed. You want to be really clear in what you're saying in a call to action, and you want to be really clear and small messages, small bites. Don't try to do War and Peace in a YouTube video. Just give them one good idea and another good idea and another good idea. Sometimes we think we need to tell them everything. No, we just have to hook them. I thank you, Melinda, for using that word, because it's really important. We have to hook them. We have to get them curious and to have them begin to see what kind of capacity we have, what kind of empathy we have. Are we the kind of person they would trust with their parent? Are they the kind of person are we the kind of person they would trust to sell their family home of 50 years? And to be focused on your target audience and answering their questions. And then to, like I said, it needs to be, and then I'm going to switch it back over to Melinda. Your messaging needs to be coherent. You do need to put 25% of your posts. You put them about the dog, you put about your weekend, you can put them about the best eggs Benedict you've ever eaten. That said, the rest of it, if it's your business page, needs to build on that curiosity and enlightenment piece. And I have a great resource for you. And it's a quick read book called Simple Marketing for Smart People. And I will put the link in the chat so I can pop it back over to Melinda.
So Cathi, you said some important things there about consistency. Usually about this point in a class, I have 3 people raising their hand. Do I want to use a personal profile or my professional profile? I don't want my professional page. I don't want people to know about my life. You know what? If you're here for social marketing, people are going to know about your life. People want to connect with you. We are still a belly to belly business. If we want to be agents and sell real estate, I feel a little strongly on this. They're not going to just do business with your company. They want to do business with you, the people on your team, I don't care if you have a team of 30 people, they still are going to want to be with your senior specialist who shows empathy and compassion. I have a social media guy who helps with some of my things now. And the editor was doing one of my videos and they said, Melinda, do we need to speed this up? Or did you speak slowly on purpose and more quietly? I said, if you know me, I talk with my hands and I talk pretty fast, but I was recording a video, a 3-part series about things to deal with when you become a widower or widower. And I said, no, I slowed that down and I took my voice down on purpose, because they're doing business with the person. And I kind of went sideways there. Yes, you're going to use your personal page and you need to be consistent for your market. That energy is important. However, showing compassion when compassion is appropriate is important too. I can't be Miss Sunny and like, oh, da-da, when I'm talking about somebody who just lost their husband. So that tone, that consistency, showing up that way, I know Kathy's really happy to see we've got younger people getting involved in the business. And it's also when we need to monitor our social media content and make sure that we're putting across the impression we want. I came across another one recently. Our VA was making my open house flyers, and the print, I can't even read it to proofread it for my number and stuff. And I thought about it, and she's probably 25. And I said, I know your young eyes don't see this problem, but over 45, I'm going like this. I can't even proofread my own open house post. If I can't read it, my clients can't read it. So just remembering who we're talking to constantly and doing a check, making sure we check that ratio. Am I doing only business posts? Have I forgotten to be personal? When I look at my metrics, it is my personal stuff that gets the most views, which makes me kind of sad because we work so much harder on the other content. And they like this. I'm telling you, they love the stupid video of the farmer's market, the vegetables. And like, that's everybody's favorite. And I'm like, man, but that's part of the community. So when I do post personal, I will tell you this, it's very curated. You're not seeing me in the places where I don't want to sell, or seeing me in that. You'll see my vulnerable light that I try like that I purposefully share, but nobody's going to see me messy crying in bed unless I've decided that that's good. So yes, you do have to be personable and personal as well in social media. It is social after all. Okay, so that brings me to something I mentioned TikTok, and CapCut, which are the best example. Platform vulnerability and the data you own and you don't own. We're all business people. Yes, we're serving seniors, and I'm guilty of this. Cathi and I in this group are guilty of this, of being very reliant on our social media and not having a way to connect with y'all when we're not here. You have got to have the ultimate goal of owning the data, owning your database, your email list, or putting them in your database. Make friends, friend the people that you see here on this screen, and then develop a relationship with them so that then you can talk to them outside of this, because this can go away like this. With our current political climates, I can get banned off of Facebook tomorrow. I could be banned off of, if I were on X, or CapCut can be gone tomorrow. Whatever it is, you can get hacked and lose all your work, even on YouTube, all of it. Make sure it's just like your relationships with your clients. Initially, we're trying to find, it's the funnel, right? So these relationships, whether they're fiduciaries or agents or clients or children, is a funnel. First, you're getting their attention, and then you're getting their relationship, getting their information, and eventually you want to be owning that information. So you don't own your social media audience. Always move them to your database or email list. Offer lead magnets to get the email. Go ahead, offer downsizing guides, checklists, and local resources. And I'll touch on that in a minute on what you can use to leverage it to create these things, which has always been a block for me. And then remember, social is a tool. It is not the foundation of your business. Your data and your relationships are your business. This is just another tool, just like postcards were or are a tool. Seminars were or are a tool. This is just a tool. And I think it's so important we remember that. It's not even a strategy, it's a tool. Go ahead, Cathi, you're muted. But
I know it's a tool that needs to have a strategy. And that was the basis of what I was saying about the importance of a cohesive messaging strategy. You need to have you and your skills, your commitment, your compassion, not just for the senior market, but that will resonate with the senior market, really on display. Because without that, they won't hear you. It will be a series of things that you do, and it's like trying to catch popcorn. You want something that goes down the funnel. And just to make sure you're thinking that way, and to build, if you're going to do posts, build a series of like 4 posts and do them over 4 weeks that feed on each other so that people want to hear the next one. But to create a communication, it is a messaging, and messaging goes in both directions. Back to you.
Okay, so I love this part because I get made fun of sometimes as the oldest member on my team. People will say, my business partner would say, "Oh, you're just tech challenged." And I finally looked at him and I said, "There is nothing tech challenged about me. I just expect my tech to work. That's all. I don't have the patience to spend time troubleshooting something I've paid for to work." So I like to put tech to work for me. And like everybody else, AI is my newer best friend. I am a taskmaster for accuracy. And I also come from a science background. So the research has always been my plug in my funnel. Like to create my content, I just couldn't create the content fast enough or satisfactory enough for me. And in walks my friend AI. AI can give me the outline for this. It's my ideas. It can give me the outline for the downsizing guide, the outline for staging, the outline. It even, I live in a big community. I've been envious of some of you in the smaller places because you're like, "Oh yeah, I have relationships with all our continuous care facilities." And I'm looking at them like, I can't even find them all, and new ones keep popping up. we're 3.5 million people, and you don't even have that many in your state. No offense to the smaller states, but there's some envy around that's yeah, to me, Dallas Fort Worth, no, not small, but if we're talking just McKinney, like Sue, then to me, that's a smaller community. I've got 5 Facebook communities in my target peninsula, so it can help so much with that, because you can say, tell me all the new build senior over 55 communities in XYZ, and you have a framework. It's done the legwork for you. And don't ever make the mistake of just taking AI at face value. You better fact check, forget the graphics for right now. They're cute and everything, but they can't spell anything right. It helps with brainstorms and outlines, generating captions, hooks, hashtags, repurposing things, using it for planning reels. My favorite trick now is to give it this, like even this conversation, and say, okay, now create 5 reels for me from that. And it will create, I can tell it, give me the hook and give me the call to action, and it'll create that. And it's still up to me to finesse it, but I've always been a better editor than I have big content creator. Most of us are better editors. Christy's like, oh, heck yes, right? So it is such a time saver. Embrace it. You don't have to pay for it. You don't need the pro version. Just go out there, do it. Most of our CRMs have it built in now. I was just in my MLS. I just pulled up the fast stats as I was logging on here. And at the bottom of today's stats, it says, AI prompt, do you need to know why this matters? And I was like, how brilliant, because it's the interpretation that matters. But that's a great way to start using the AI. And it's not about sounding robotic. It's about removing those roadblocks for you. And then let it create from there.
One of the things that, as I've worked in StoryBrand, we talk about is, because we have our own AI, that it creates content, or it provides information. We have to curate it, and we have to give it our voice. And that's the editing process that Belinda's talking about. And I think that that's so important. So if it says something in a word you would never use, just change the word.
And you could tell it that you could teach it your voice. And I feel like mine is finally learning my voice, and I'll always preempt it that using my voice, and it'll say, using a calm, confident, like it'll reflect what it thinks my voice is. And I'm like, no, add a little bit more humor in this. This is for fun. So Christy's is learning how to say howdy. There you go. But if I said howdy, wouldn't that be weird? Right? Howdy, I do say y'all, but yes, sir, and yes, ma'am are common for me because of my work with the military. So that would be typical for me. So it's really just leveraging it. Don't let it scare you away. Don't get over caught up in it either. Okay, I'm sorry, but those Barbie images, although they're fun, you could have created a mini downsizing guide with ChatGPT during that time. I don't want to take away your fun, but you could have done that instead of creating the Barbie dolls from ChatGPT. So now let's take just a couple minutes. Alicia, what?
Style. Substance.
Oh, I don't think they meant to be on it. Cathi, you're muted again.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
I got her muted. So
a couple minutes. I think we have a couple chat questions. I want to take a couple minutes of questions, and then we'll move into the mastermind session. Deborah asked, what's my favorite ChatGPT or favorite AI? The truth is I don't have a favorite, but ChatGPT is on my phone. It's free. I am all about free. My CRM has it built in. Now I just found out my MLS has it built in. Google's got it built in, all of that. So I'm experimenting. I don't use it heavily enough. I think the most valuable one will end up being like the CRM, the one that you use consistently, because I think it will learn your voice. I think it will learn your areas of expertise. Sudeep, do I say your name Sudeep? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sudeep, you have a couple questions. Go for it.
Number one. Okay, speaking of AI, I use it. I love it. I love it. But I use the free version only. The stuff you're talking about, do you use the paid version?
No, I don't use paid for anything. I am the cheapest girl in this room. If it's free,
So,
it's free for me, but I use free chat GPT, and then I use Brivity for my CRM. And in our email and text areas, we have a built-in AI bot, and we can do anything in that for free and just don't push send.
okay, and another question. I have my own website like callhomes.net. Like you guys were mentioning, when somebody goes there, it shows what's my homework, first time home buyer, second time a listing. It doesn't talk no information about the rest, you know? So,
You know, it's okay that those things are there, but if you really want to focus on a need,
uh-huh.
you got to
Uh-huh.
go in. You gotta say it. I have three. So it's luxury, coastal
Mm-hmm.
luxury, it's
Mm-hmm.
seniors, and it's military. So I do embrace, I think my stuff now says Melinda Cruzy DePerna, your luxury real estate broker or something like that. And I do fear it'll turn off somebody else, but you got to lean in
Yeah.
with that. And
So, so
you
how do you
gotta
add it?
lean in, but it doesn't mean you don't work with first time home buyers. It doesn't mean that seniors don't have, who are buying something new, don't have some of the same questions. You can always tweak it to your audience.
So how do I add? Which link do I add for all this rest information? How did you guys add it in your website?
I don't direct anybody to my website. For me, it's
Mhm.
really, I'm 11 years in the business and I've never gotten a lead from my website that has been valid, but also it's not where I focus. Plenty of people do a lot of business through their website. So I'm going to leave that to Cathi to talk about a little bit more.
And I don't, that's not the focus for today. You and I could have an offline conversation about that, Cindy, because I think it's really important because what happens with websites is the adult children check the websites to make sure you are who you say you are before they'll let you meet the parents. So I don't know what website you have and how it's set up, so I wouldn't know how to go in there and do it. I have my own under my own name. And I have all of the editing capacity that I use. I don't make my Keller Williams one known to anybody. People could go into Keller Williams and find it, and it doesn't say much. And it may actually redirect people to mine because it's embedded in the information. But
Cathi, to what you're saying, I would actually encourage you, Steve, and everybody in this room to at least twice a year go incognito into Google and search your name the way they might search it. Mine, it would be Melinda DePerna, Melinda Cruzy, Melinda San Diego Realtor, something like that, to see what they're seeing. You've got to go incognito, otherwise it's just going to feed wherever you visit, and see what they're seeing. And then go in and make sure you've managed all those profiles to have your message. They may not, when they Google you, your website might not even be the one that comes up.
Right.
It probably will be your realtor.com profile, your company profile, your LinkedIn. For me, it's my Instagram and Facebook, which is good because that's where I want them to go. But make sure you're getting that, because that's search engine optimization. But like she said, they are checking all of this before they interview us. They are all looking at it, and they can definitely make a decision based on that.
Yes.
My social media guy just lost an account, or didn't lose it, but he lost an opportunity for somebody I introduced him to, because she looked at his site and it was full of typos and grammatical errors. Okay, but he's so busy working on everybody else's account, he doesn't even do it. He's a person-to-person guy. And I said, I don't care. You still got people looking you up. You gotta get that house in order.
right, it's the cobbler's kids don't have shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Of course. Christy gives a good tip that you can, in your chat GPT account, you can program the settings and tell it who you are, where you are, so that it answers more like you too.
Right. And
Okay.
One more is Valencia. What is Claude AI and where does it come from? Just really quickly.
Claude AI is like a chat GPT sort of. Claude can't read code, but it can definitely provide some great responses for when you ask questions similar to what you would ask chat GPT.
Okay.
And it's just the site itself, Claude.ai.
Okay. All right, thanks.
There were different apps. You know, we didn't come on here for AI expert, but there's new things coming out every day that are better at graphics, that are better at calculations, that, you know, there's lots of things that you can do with it. But I think most of us are familiar with ChatGPT, and it's simple. It's on your phone. Okay, so Kathy, we're going to break into breakout groups, and there's not
Want to do 2 or 3?
today. Let's do 2. Let's do 2 because that puts us at like 5 of each, and we can give each group 2 questions.
Okay.
Okay, I will put them in the questions right now. I'm going to put them into the chat. So group 1 will have the first 2 questions. Are you using the platform your ideal audience is actually on? And how are you moving your social followers into your CRM or real world network? And if you're not doing it, how could you do it? Okay, so group number 1 is going to have those 2 questions. And group number 2, what's one educational or trust building post you could create this week? And how could you use AI to simplify your content strategy? Fair enough?
Okay.
Let's
All right.
flip.
Here we go. And if you and I end up in the same one, I'll move.
Thank you.
Kathy, the
Yeah.
questions didn't come up on our chat.
Okay, hang on just a second. Let me switch the view.
We're number
Yes.
2.
We're group
So-
2. Okay, what's one educational or trust building post you could create this week? And then the second one is, how could you use AI to simplify your content strategy?
Okay, actually, I created one today.
Okay.
I did. I used the AI, and hold on. What did I have in my draft? It was. Give me 1 second. I have it here somewhere. Mm. It was thinking about moving. What is the 4 things you can start? Yeah, I thought I saved it. Okay, keep everything.
Hey, Michael, can you come on video, please?
It's actually
Actually, I'm driving, so I'm
Oh,
not.
okay, never mind. You stay right where you are and listen and participate. So we just see your face.
so.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I can answer the question.
Okay, yeah, participate as you can. I don't want you to risk yourself or anybody else. So,
Yeah, so
okay,
I use
let's,
AI 100% of the time to create content strategy.
and which AI?
And then to answer the question about a post, I use Chat GTP,
Okay,
and I use it exclusively. And the post that I'm getting ready to post is three questions you need to ask when moving to a community.
It's a good one.
yeah. And I'll come back to you, Sukdeep. I didn't mean to get
That's
off
fine.
of you, but that's great. And you do something that I think is really important. It's simple. You didn't talk about moving to communities, and people have this ambivalence, and what are the, myths and misconceptions, and what are 3 questions to ask when you're moving to a community? And I think we have the problem of too much knowledge, and we try to deliver it all. You did a great job with that.
Yeah, the entire video is only 17 seconds long.
Okay. And how often do you post?
I try to post once a week.
Okay. So, and your audience is the senior.
My audience is a family that needs to clean out and sell a loved one's home.
Okay. Okay, so you're talking to the adult children.
I'm talking to anyone that needs to clean out and sell a loved one's home. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. And Sukdeep, you had a really good, go back and just tell us that quickly so that we get to Deborah and Sue too.
Yes, I created one. It's in my schedule for tomorrow morning to post. It was what is the 4 things to do if you start thinking about moving. Number 1, I think it one box. You get the 4 boxes, 4 steps. One it says keep. It was something I
Yeah.
can't even find it. It's in my
That's okay.
It's in my schedule.
But
And
it's
there's you got 4 boxes. One says keep, one donate, and it was 4. One
giveaway
keep,
and trash.
donate, trash. Yes, 4.
Yeah. Okay. And so again, very simple. You're not building an empire. You're just giving them some ideas that you know something they may need to know. And it's that curiosity.
Yes.
And you also have the enlightenment that you're smart enough to know how to help them. So that's good. Okay. Hi, Deborah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing fine. Where are you?
I'm in South Florida.
Oh, okay. And Sukdeep, where are you? Oops, you went back on mute.
Fort Worth.
Oh,
Okay. Yes.
You're just a couple miles away. Okay. And Mike, where are you?
Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay. So we have some diversity, but we are south. Okay. So Deborah, how are you using social media? What's one educational trust building post you could create this weekend? How's AI helping you?
Just like Michael has said, I love ChatGPT. It's like my newfound love, it does so much, out there to help in the business. I was actually visiting some resorts. I live in South Florida, so a lot of retirees are coming here, kind of where we should all become referral partners. Just putting that out there. So I wanted to do resort living and retiring style in Florida.
Okay.
And there's been a couple developments. I've been actually getting a lot of footage from and videos, which I'm going to make some content and actually ask ChatGPT for some of the captions, and then we're going to go from there.
Okay. That's good. How often do you post?
Every single day.
Oh, okay.
On every platform.
Okay.
Except YouTube. That's my next.
Okay. And every platform means
what? You're asking which ones?
which ones? Yeah.
Oh, Facebook, my personal, my business, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay. How have you seen it impact your business so far? How long have you been consistently doing every day?
I have been for months. I was actually hacked on Instagram, which
Oh.
is the #1 top hacked platform could be right now. So they know it's very popular. They're all older people, even down here in South Florida. I'm always amazed. I'm like, you have Instagram? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, because I'm also, very familiar and been a fan of Facebook how many years myself, right? So I just assume, but I could be wrong because there are a lot of people getting on that. They have grandkids and kids and they
Right.
learn. So, yeah, so I actually had to start a new account because the Meta didn't really help. And I knew that wasn't the first person that happened to. So anyhow, so I've grown tremendously, and I focus, I kind of time block a little bit of time out each day just to focus on that.
Okay. And
watch it
that's
grow.
really important. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. And where are you from?
Originally New York.
I knew you
heard
were
that.
from South Florida.
Not from South Florida.
Okay. And Susie Q.
I have not used Chat GPT or any of those at all as yet, so I'm behind the curve on that one. I've got to get busy and get with it. But things I would like to focus on the aging in place and the safety involved in aging in place. Because we can go in and I'm a CAPS now, I'm a certified aging in place specialist. And we can go in and talk to them, and we can give them an evaluation of things that they might do to their home to age in place safely, because everybody thinks they want to stay in their house until they pass away. And we know less than 10% do that. So that's one of the things that I would like to focus on.
Okay. And can you think of something that you could post in the next week that would be an educational or trust building post about aging in place?
Would you do, it seems like it's too much. If you put the aging in place and the safety in your home versus an assisted living, that seems like that's getting too much. That's too involved. You got to narrow it down.
What are 5 things that you could do to make your house more safety friendly? Or
3 reasons to install a grab bar. 3
Yeah.
reasons to have a door widen for a wheelchair.
That's right. 0 entry showers.
Yep,
See, all of those things.
right. And that's how small you want to make it. And you want to have a whole menu of those so that you keep going, so that you establish yourself with credibility, you establish yourself with empathy and understanding that sometimes how hard is it to take that kind of look at yourself and have to do something like that in your home. And, you know, I'm a certified aging in place specialist and I would love to help. Contact me. And then that's a call to action.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly.
okay. All right. So, and Sudeep, was there anything else? Because we've all kind of talked a little bit more than you did, that, you know, you've got AI, so you're cool with that. How often are you posting?
Actually, it's been a while. I've been busy, and today I started it.
Okay.
It will post, yes.
And so you weren't ready yet, and you're ready now.
Mhm.
And so can you do time blocking this week to do
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
Okay. If somebody was giving away money at 10 o'clock every morning, wouldn't you put that on your calendar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'm
Mhm.
going to have us leave the room and go back, and I hope that I can drive this. No, leave breakout room. The other guys just got the information after I closed out of ours, so they're coming in a second. In 13 seconds. So
It's people like my baby. When I
ah,
post him,
yeah. I
he's
keep my
sitting
eye
very.
out for this because it's time for her walk, and she has so many times sat at my desk and whined and gotten my leg
Yeah.
because it's time to go. So anyway, there's Melinda. How'd you guys do?
Sorry, I'm struggling today. We did well. I think as a group, we realized that we are not moving our people over to our database. And we had a few ideas around that. And as a group, we're also more active on Facebook, and most feel that most of our audience is more active on Facebook.
Okay.
Which is no surprise in this segment.
Mm-hmm. And in our group, we, hang on, I need to move the view again so that the talking head is at the front of it. In our group, we talked about keeping our simple messages, the educational or trust building post, this big, and then to plan a series of them to build interest, and that some folks are doing it every day. Some folks have just restarted because they've understood the importance, and that the ones that are doing it consistently and every day are getting some traction, and everybody is, one of us doesn't work with AI yet. We'll kind of have her remain anonymous, but the rest are really using AI at a good level. So, and do any of you want to come off mute and share any ahas or additional questions that all of this brought up for you?
Well, I know in our group, you guys, we had that brilliant idea what we were going to put into a chat GPT prompt. Who wants to share that one?
I'll share that. So we're going to put in our chat GPT prompt. Create me a plan and create a series of posts to help me move my people into my CRM, my real estate contacts, people from my real estate post, something like that. I don't remember the spec.
I'd like to add to that if I could.
Sure.
So you need to make sure you tell ChatGPT to go out and analyze other senior related channels, and then look at posts that have received 1,000 views, 500 views, or whatever, and then create topics that are similar but not identical to the ones that have created.
Okay, you're driving in a dead spot, dude, but we got the idea, and I think
Got
it's
the
brilliant.
idea. Yeah, that's an
But you-
excellent idea.
But be very specific. Tell them to analyze other senior related businesses that are on channels on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. That's the key.
Right.
I've
And
even gone so far to ask them, hey, recommend to me senior real estate agents and senior specialty real estate agents in San Diego, to see who they come up with. So then I can look at what they're doing that I'm not doing and why. And then I'd ask them, why did you recommend that person? You know, because it wasn't me.
Yeah, but also ask about the view count. You want to do content that's getting views.
Right.
And if somebody's doing
Interaction.
a view of 1,000 views, you want to duplicate that content.
Mhm.
right. Right, because it's quality, not quantity.
Well, not
Except
so
when
much
it
that,
comes
it's-
to body counts.
It's not so much that. It's just it's a topic. It's a topic that somebody wants to listen to. And so
Right.
if one person got 1,000 views, you should be able to get 1,000 views on a similar topic.
Right. You know, I don't know where it went, but I did mention, just mentioned it, Kathy. Do not buy your followers. Don't get tempted. The algorithms are not going to like that. Don't get impressed by somebody who has 26,000 followers without looking to see how much interaction. If they get 3 interactions on their posts, those 26,000 followers were bots. Don't do what they're doing. They really are favoring smaller accounts with lots of interaction, because then that tells them that you're relevant.
Mhm.
And make sure it's the kind of interaction you want too.
Right.
So I got another easy tip. You interested in another easy tip?
Of
Yes,
course.
please.
So go through your database. You already got of people you've met, and I'm sure everyone's met at least 1 or 2 executive directors or sales managers of a community. See if they're on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever. Like, follow, and if they ever make a post, I don't care what it is. If it's about Easter, it's about going out to see a movie or whatever they post on, you comment on it, and you do that every time. You follow them every day and check it and comment. That will help you, and then hopefully they'll re-engage with you, and then that will help build credibility.
And by the way, they're all on LinkedIn.
Yes.
So do the same on LinkedIn. Celebrate the promotions, get into those networking groups you're in. They are on LinkedIn. You might not be posting, but if you can like and comment, you're definitely helping to build that relationship. Michael, that's a great tip.
Okay, well, we need to close it down and we have at least one announcement. And that is on Tuesday, May 13th. Andy and Jody Fisher from Austin, Texas, who are part of Real Estate Planner, and their email is jody@realestateplanner.com or whatever. They bought the domain name. They are excellent in the senior space, and it's another husband-wife team. And so they are going to be our spotlight featured agents for the month of May. And again, it's May 13th, and it is at 2 Eastern, 1 Central, noon Mountain, and 11 Pacific time. And so I'll start pushing a lot of promotional stuff out right at the first of the month. So, okay, anything you have on your end, Melinda?
No, I just want to encourage everybody, when you have takeaways, when you've learned things from these, share them in the bigger group. Even if you're just saying, hey, thanks to Michael for giving us this idea. I tried this chat prompt. Share your successes, share your failures. That's how we learn. I'm really committed, and Cathy's committed to keeping this a broker neutral group, a brand neutral group, and free. And
Yeah.
the way that it'll thrive is if we're participating in it. So we appreciate you, and good luck out there.
Except please do not post your listings, your open houses, and do not jump on top of, and what is that called?
Oh, Cathi finally got mad at the fan clubbing.
Fan club.
With something
If
else.
somebody posts
finally
that
got
somebody
mad
is
this week.
recommending something, like that one, and don't do 20 of them.
Right. The sad part is that the agent that was being recommended is a good agent. I know her. But then when you've got people who have never participated in this group, and there's 30 of them, guess what? It's not AI, it's VAs. They're paying VAs to jump on groups and to do this. And it poisons the system.
Right. This is
And I still
intended
owe
for
that agent
us,
a phone
members
call to
of the
say,
community.
hey, I'm on to you.
Yeah, this is intended for us as members of the community to support each other. So that also says participate more, comment more, and let's be there. We have this as a free service, which means that our time is donated, and happily so, but we want to make the most of it with you and for you. So that's it. It is just about
a Facebook group.
It's fan clubbing. So what happens is that we're also a networking group. So we hope that when you have a referral that needs placing elsewhere, you'll come look at the files. We have a file that has people, but it's not always easy to figure it out because it might say McKenna, Texas, or McAllen, Texas, and I don't know where that is. I just know I'm looking for this area of Texas. And so it can be hard. So I might post in there, agent needed for McAllen, Texas, or McKinney, Texas.
very
And
different places.
then 30 people who have never participated in our group, who are in our group because they meet the qualifications to be here, then post Sue Baker for that. And Christy doesn't even have a chance because they flooded the feed with Sue, and it's not coming. It doesn't mean that Sue's no good. It just isn't right. Okay.
Right, it's not a relationship piece.
I know for a fact some of it is coming from hired VAs, and some of it is coming from what we would call a referral circle, where she would post in there, or one of the people in the circle would say, hey, we need your help. And they give a link to the group, and they do that. Then they post like that. There's no need after 1 or 2 people mention her, because basically it gets her attention. Let her respond. It's unprofessional. I understand why it's done. I'm not saying that the relationships aren't there. We're not cool with it in this group. We want people who have participated, because it's not just a neutral group. It's one that's serving seniors. The more you participate, the more you should be trusted for these referrals, more opportunity you should have. And it does backfire. We had 2 in this group backfire in the last 2 months, that the people called me and said, the people posting said, I don't even want to use that person now. Do you know them?
Right. So it's, I mean, if someone asked about Lincoln, Nebraska, Alicia, you'd be the first person I'd think of. And I'd want you to have first shot at it.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that a group that through this group? Or is
No,
that
it's in our group, but there's lots of them around the country that have
Oh.
just gotten organized. And I'm not saying that they don't know each other. It's just not a kosher behavior, you know?
I see.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm not saying they all use VAs to it, but there are quite a few that have. If you if you get comfortable with the behavior, if you had this happening in Lincoln, Nebraska, you would see it right away. Like you would know it was happening. Just like when it happens in San Diego, I know it. But it's not, if you don't do a lot of referral business, you might not notice it. We're just committed to the sanctity of this group.
Right. So, and that's why we encourage you guys to comment and talk about things so people can get to know you, your voice. You get to be a regular participant and people hear your voice and think of you so that they go scroll through the feed to see who you are when they see your name on the list of where you're from. So,
Gotcha.
anyway. Okay. Well, everybody have a great rest of the week. And
You too.
I'm absolutely delighted. I'll be posting the video after dinner, and then it'll be up there to see it again. And then I will also post the Otter summary of it, which sometimes is easier just to pop through and get. Otter came to my breakout room and not Melinda's though. So
That's okay.
your
We talked
feedback
about
from
you
that one
behind
is
your back.
important. Yeah. Okay.
Christy, wait, before
Thank
you
you.
go.
Completely non-related
Oh,
statement. In light of the Pope passing away today, this last summer, the movie Conclave came out, and it was fantastic. And it's well done. It's got a lot of stars in it. And the guy that wrote it sent the script to his friend, the Cardinal, who said that's exactly how it happens. And so
Yeah,
it's
I
on
watched it,
Prime.
Christy, and I was thinking about rewatching it.
Yeah, I'm not Catholic, but I was just fascinated by the whole. I mean, part of it is the pomp and circumstance stuff that goes on that I'm like, how can you keep doing that for 1,000 years? But they do. And I love tradition and I love history. And so, yeah. But yeah, it'd
Okay.
probably be worth it.
okay. Thank you, my dear.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody have a great week. See ya.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Absolutely.